Hello everyone. Today we're going to be talking about how to label. Now you'd think this is something that would be quite simple, but we all know what an effort labelling can be, especially if you're doing large batches of beer. And especially when it comes to recycling bottles, when you're reusing bottles you've already used, you've got to get the labels off. I normally just used mailing labels, the sticky back ones, and I think most people tend to use some variety of sort of adhesive labels, which are fine until it comes time to remove them. But I believe that this way is better both in the ease of application as well as sort of the flexibility and removal. The real key to this is that it leaves no residue, and I'll get to that later. The key to it is simply milk. You use milk as the adhesive, and I'll show you how. I've done hundreds of bottles this way. I've done multiple batches of beer. Today I'm doing a batch of mead. Doesn't really matter. This works on all glass bottles. You can use it to stick labels on glass carboys, and you might even be able to use it on plastic. I haven't tested that though. Okay, so what you're going to need is your bottle, preferably of some nice alcoholic liquid. You're going to need milk. The easiest way is to use like a plate or a saucer. You're going to need a turkey baster. Now I use like a rubber turkey baster. You can use a paintbrush, but you don't really want anything that's going to soak up too much, because you don't want to soak your label. And of course you're going to need a label. And you can just use any normal paper. Inkjet or laser printing doesn't matter, just normal everyday paper with a design printed on it. And the beauty of this is that you're not limited to mailing label sizes. You can use all sorts of designs. You can have circular round ones, you can have ones that go all the way round, you know. It's really up to you. I keep it simple. And you're going to need a damp cloth. Just get it wet, wring it out. You don't want it wet, just damp. Okay? So, and this is how simple it is, but I'll walk you through it. You're just going to get your label, stick it down, turkey baster, get some milk on there, semi-skimmed, skimmed, full fat, maybe even goat's milk, doesn't matter. And you're just going to basically paint it on, and you want to make sure, the only thing you've got to be careful of, you want to get it into all the corners. And you should have put enough on that it will sort of curl up like this because it's damp, but it's not going to have soaked through the design on the front. Okay? Get your bottle and stick it on. Go centre first, strain it up, and then press down the sides. You get a bit running out the bottom. That's good. And this is why I said it's easier to apply than normal labels, because now it's on here, you can actually move the thing around. So if you're trying to line it up with other bottles, you know, you can put it right next to it and get it at the perfect height. It doesn't take long to dry. Takes a few seconds, probably 30 seconds to a minute, and it's pretty rigid in place, but it gives you that leeway and it's nice. Damp cloth, and you want to sort of just work down, paying special attention to the corners, just to make sure it's fully stuck down. Again, you don't want to do enough that you're going to soak your label. And that's it really. It's a bit like wallpaper pasting. And it might seem a bit overcomplicated, but honestly it is incredibly quick. Bottle, label, takes a few seconds to paint it on. Stick it. Adjust it. Then wipe off the excess and stick down the corners. And that's it. That's how quick it is. These labels, obviously they're easy to remove, that's a point. They're water soluble. Now, I thought that this would cause problems in the fridge with condensation. It doesn't. I've had loads, especially beer, in the fridge, loads of condensation, literally no trouble at all. The only trouble you might ever get is if you're, say, trying to put it in an ice bucket or something, but even then, it does take a little bit of soaking for the label to actually start to peel off, so I even think you could get away with that. So this is a really good way of doing it. I've tried lots of different ways, and this is my favourite. And it's all that saved me from kegging, because as you know, labelling like 40 bottles of beer, removing the labels, cleaning the bottles, refilling the bottles, relabelling the bottles, it's a pain. So this for me just makes it really easy, because to remove them, you can just run them under water if you wanted, or my favourite way, especially if you're doing a large batch, just fill up a bath with warmish water. Doesn't have to be warm, but whatever, I guess it probably works quicker, and just leave them in there and let them stay long enough to soak through. That's the key. It's just, you want to give it long enough to soak through sort of the ink into the milk, and then it just sort of dissolves it, I guess. And that's really all it takes. And again, it's literally only a few minutes, probably 10 minutes, and they almost drop off in one piece. If you leave them long enough, they will just drop off and they'll come out entirely. So there's no scraping and trying to pick up little bits from the bottom of a bath. It's really neat, really clean, and it's definitely my favourite way of doing this. What else is there to say? Not much really. We're talking about labels. It's dead simple. So yeah, if you're fed up of scraping glue off of bottles or trying to dissolve it with God knows what, forget it. Use this. It is much easier. It's probably cheaper and more flexible as well. It's by far my favourite way of labelling, and it might just save you from having to go out and buy a keg. I'm sure it will happen eventually, but for now, this is how we do things, and it saves me a lot of headaches. Thank you for watching. This is really all I have to say. If you'd like to see more homebrewing videos, sure, might be able to get a few brew day videos in, something like that. So thanks for watching, and maybe stay tuned. And also, let me know how this works for you. I'd be interested to hear. I guess this is one of the things where your mileage may vary, so I'd be interested to see the results of other people trying this. Okay, that's it.